Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're having a great day so far. We here today are from Fusion Mineral Paint, and we're going to be showing you how to update some of your old outdoor furniture. It is summertime now, and you're probably thinking of having some great barbecues. And you may have one of these tables that, has been worn and looking a little bit too rustic. And we were actually thinking of throwing this one in the trash. And I thought, you know what? Let's hold off on that. Let's add some paint to it and see how we can make it look brand new again. So I've been painting on this for a long time. It sat outside all winter and I cannot scrape this paint off. It is stuck on there no matter what I do. It's just amazing how durable the Fusion Mineral Paint is. Typically we don't recommend painting plastic without using our Ultra Grip, but this is a really great test to show you that it wears really well. And our winters here are got lots of snow and lots of weather, so this sat out all winter and the paint stuck to it. So we thought, let's keep it green, but let's add a little bit of new paint to it. So we washed it down and made sure we took off any of the dirt and dust that was on there. But again, because I was thinking of just tossing this table, I'm not too overly picky. If it's not absolutely perfect and you get a couple little marks here and there, that's okay, because this is a really great, easy update. And then I'm going to show you how we're going to camouflage any imperfections afterwards by using a plaid and buffalo check stencil. So you've got to stay with us and watch that. Where is everyone tuning in from today? We want to know where you're watching from. And if you like this, if you know anyone that's got outdoor furniture that needs to be painted or updated, we want you to share. So hit the share button. Again, my name is Jenny Lynn. I'm the creator of Fusion Mineral Paint, and what's beautiful about Fusion Mineral Paint is that it has a built-in top coat. So if you're doing exterior pieces of furniture, you don't need to add a wax to it or anything. And we've got such really amazing coverage with this paint. I just poured it on and now I'm evening it out, taking away any areas that have a little bit too much. And because there's actually some lines and ridges in here, some of the excess paint will get stuck in there. So it's always a really good idea to go over it and make sure you remove anything that is excess, because excess paint can leave little marks here and there.
All right, we've got people from Belmont, Ontario, Las Vegas, California, Oregon, Belfast. Wow. And we have a giveaway question where we are going to be giving away a pint and a couple of testers so that you can transform, an outdoor piece of furniture yourself. And the giveaway question is, what color would you paint your furniture?
Awesome. This color here is called Bayberry, and it's kind of that throwback vintage green color. It's really started to become more popular in the past year or so, and we recently added it to our collection of over 50 different colors in the Fusion Mineral Paint line. So there's really a little bit of something for every style and every color preference. Okay, so I'm going to leave that now. That'll dry and do its thing. And we're going to hop over to the other side that's already dry, and we're going to show you a really awesome way to camouflage any imperfections with using this amazing buffalo check stencil. All right, so the buffalo check, this is created by the wonderful and amazing Donna Williams from Funky Junk Interiors. Hey Donna, I hope you're watching. And
Hi,
this
Donna.
stencil is super awesome. I love it.
It's really quite cool. There's already some ridges in here that you can make it look like it was supposed to be.
Yeah, so we're kind of lining it up. See how you've got all these sort of imperfections of things that were under there before?
Well, that was the old paint that I didn't bother sanding or preparing. I just really wanted to kind of save this from the wrecking ball.
Yeah, there's no point in throwing it out. It's still really fabulous. So I'm going to take a bit of painter's tape here, and I'm just going to hold my stencil down in place. So I've lined it up kind of within these squares here. And I like to put the tape in place just to help me hold it so that it doesn't kind of move around when I'm stenciling. It makes it a little bit easier. Although stenciling itself is pretty easy, and you're going to see how quick this transformation is. All right, so the key with stenciling is less is more. I'm going to be using a really nice contrasting color I like to do contrasting colors with stencils so that it shows up even more. I'm just using a bit of what we call plaster, and it's a really nice soft sort of cream color. And I'm going to offload, which means getting rid of the paint off of my brush. So that I'm basically stenciling with a dry brush. Okay, so I offloaded a little bit too much there. There we go. And I like to use a swirling motion. You can also use the dabbing motion, up and down. Whatever you like more, whatever works for you. Every technique, there's really no right or wrong way to do it. Again, the most important thing to remember is less is more. So you want to have very little paint on your brush, just enough to cover the surface underneath, but not too much that it will slip and slide underneath the stencil. Now these stencils are made by Margaritaville Studio, and they're a really nice thick 10 mil mylar. That's really helpful, the thicker it is, to really help keep your stencil in place. The heavier the material, the easier that stencil stays in place.
And it's reusable, like multi-time reusable.
Yeah, you could wash the stencil if you want, or you don't need to wash it. I find with these stencils, because they're so thick, the paint may just kind of stick around on it and dry on it, and that's totally fine. And then you can reuse it again over and over. So you'll find a technique that works for you. Again, pretty simple, straightforward, easy and quick. What's great about this stencil is you can put it onto virtually any sort of surface and make a buffalo check out of it. So you can put it on a tool caddy. How cute would that toolbox be? I know that Funky Junk Interiors has a whole bunch of different samples and examples of what they've done with theirs. So you can go on to Funky Junk Interiors and find a whole bunch of different examples as well. Plus, our Fusion Mineral Paint merchants offer these in store. So you'll be able to go and grab one yourself and maybe see some in person or get a live demo or take a workshop as well with these. So it's, again, really, really super quick. The bigger your stencil brush for this project, the better. This one's a pretty small one. It's a Martha Stewart stencil brush. I really like those brushes because they work quite well. You tend to lose a couple of bristles with your stencil brush as well, and that's totally normal. You'll see that, so you just want to pick it out. No big deal, not the end of the world.
Adds character.
Again, this is a really, really rustic table, and we're stenciling onto plastic, and plastic is a little bit more difficult of a surface to paint. Typically, I don't recommend that you would paint a plastic table, but again, because this was kind of destined, unfortunately, for the garbage, I thought, you know what, let's give this one more shot before we get rid of it and try reviving it with paint, because we know paint is a really inexpensive, quick, and easy way to transform the look of something. And the beauty with Fusion Mineral Paint being zero VOC, no top coat required, is that you can actually put this outside, and on top of it, because we use real minerals, it's not going to be affected by the UV rays. That is really important, especially when you're talking about painting exterior. I'm just kind of filling in with a light, gentle second coat on some of these.
And the fact that the resin is 100% acrylic, which makes it durable for exterior use.
Yeah, super durable, great longevity. I mean, people will use Fusion Mineral Paint for their kitchen cabinets, people have used it on their floors, so there really is no limit to what you can do with Fusion. It's pretty awesome. And what we did to prep this piece was we just washed it down. We made sure there's no grease on it. It's important to get rid of that because it was a table that's used by the barbecue all the time, so you're pulling stuff off the barbecue and there's bound to be grease on it. So a little bit of TSP wash and no sanding. We didn't sand because it was plastic. Didn't need to do that.
Well,
hear the thunder.
It wasn't actually destined for the garbage. It's just that we painted a whole bunch of boxes on it last fall, and then I couldn't get the paint off. It's like, oh my goodness.
Here we go.
Wow.
Ta-da! There is our buffalo check. Look at that contrast. I just love that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't get the stencil name in there. I can paint over that.
Oh yeah, we can put a little bit of bayberry on
But
that.
that was so easy. So I'm just going to take this and kind of set it to the side, let it dry before we use it on another project. So we're going to go ahead and do the plaid stencil. The plaid is super fun. I love it. Now, Lori had a really great idea. Lori is my mom. She's behind the camera. Hi. Hi, Mom. She had a really great idea of kind of making different tartans out of the plaid, putting different colors and layering multiple colors as well. So again, there's really no limit to what you can do with this.
Yeah, you could totally customize. If you have your own family custom tartan, you could do it.
Okay.
Easy peasy.
Now, this stencil comes in 2 parts, so it looks a little bit complex, but I promise you it's really straightforward and easy. What you're going to do essentially is you're going to end up lining up these little dots here on top of each other. So the first one you're going to put down, I'm going to just move this over a little bit because I'm going to start and go left to right. So I'm going to line it up with this area of the table here. And typically I use a little pen or a little marker, and my marker is going to be paint because that's what I have at my disposal. So I'm just going to use a really tiny little dot of paint there. That way I know where the mark is, and then I can just go over that later with a little bit of the bayberry, which is the green. But that's just how we're going to mark it to know where to put our second stencil on afterwards. You just line those up, super easy. So let's get started. We're going to use mustard. Mustard is one of those kind of revival colors again. We used to see this a lot in the 90s, that kind of rich, deep mustard color, and it's had a comeback. So we are going to start with that color. Now I'm going to grab a little bit of paper.
It's a beautiful contrast to the green.
All right.
That was Finley. Say hello, Finley.
There's our dog, yep. We're working outside today. All right, there's the mustard. So sometimes I'm using the little containers and I don't want to get too much paint on. I'll just put it onto the paper here to work from. I'll grab from there, dab, offload, make sure I don't have too much on, but just enough. So you're kind of dry brushing again, right? All right, maybe I'll throw a little piece of tape down too so I can hold it in place.
Just in case, yeah.
It's always good. And this tape is a beautiful tape to work with. It comes off really easily. It's not going to rip up my paint afterwards. Okay, so here we go. And we're just going to swirl, 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 swirl.
One lady said that she's outside and her dog is now barking at Finley's bark.
Oh, the wonderful world of communication. Oh my goodness.
And Susan says she loves tape.
Tape is just a great tool to use to make your job just go so much easier. Really, it does come down to your tools. The right brushes, the right prep. Prep is always so important for any project that you're doing. Having the right prep done, the right tools, it's just going to allow for you to have a much nicer end result. Okay.
Again, these stencils are available at Mudderitaville. If you just Google that, you can...
They're actually made by Mudderitaville, but you can find them through Funky Junk Interiors because that is the wonderful designer of these stencils. And I'm sure Donna will put a link up on where you can buy these. And our Fusion Mineral Paint merchants also have them available for you. Okay, so there we go. That is the first one down.
Okay, it's starting to rain. Is that anything that we should worry about, being that we're in the covered porch when we're painting?
Covered. Humidity is always something to be aware of because the more humid it is, the longer your paint takes to dry. So keep that in mind. All right,
that's the first part of the stencil.
So I was a little bit messy there. So what I'm going to do to avoid this from happening, being messy, I want to use less paint on the brush.
Okay, I'll do a close-up of that.
Now, to move this over, it's really simple. We've got this plaid and we're going to continue it on. We're just going to move it one block over. That's all it is. And we line it back up. Oh, the tape is getting in my way. So we line it back up right there. So you can see that these ones are already filled in. I've just got this area that needs to be filled in now. So we're going to do that. Where is everyone watching from today? Is it raining where you are? Because it is here.
Oops, it's sun rain here.
Again, when you are painting outdoors and it's raining, that's really important to understand that your paint is going to take a lot longer to dry. Now, Donna has a tip when she is working with these stencils. She kind of feathers out and doesn't go as heavy towards the edges when you are in the middle of transitioning your stencils over, so that way it's not so hard of a line, and that when you do move it over, it goes and transfers really nice and easy. I have actually had no issues with that whatsoever with these stencils. It's been really easy, but see here where you would have a hard line? You want to kind of feather that out as you're doing this so you don't have such a hard line. I think it depends, you know, the colors and such.
And what about these registration marks? Do you ever use them to continue over?
So you don't touch these marks when you're moving, and you don't fill them in. They're just what Lori said, registration marks, which means it's easy for us to line up our starting pattern. All right, so this one's almost done.
You'd put the registration marks on this right now as well, right? So when you come along with this stencil, you can line it up?
No, you don't need to, because you can just follow from here.
Oh, I see. Okay. So you only do the registration marks once.
Yep, one time. All right. So now again, because we're going a little bit fast, I'm a little bit messy, just a tad messy, but
I think you're forgiven. There's a lot of DIYers on here, and I even heard an approval. Messy is good.
Messy is real, okay? Let's be real. Messy is real. Okay, so remember where those 4 little marks are that I put? You can use a pencil, something a little more discreet, but I had paint at my disposal, and guess what? I can paint over this after by just doing a dab of this color, so I'm not too worried about that. And see how there's those 4 marks there? So essentially, I want to take this and line it up right over top of those 4 marks. Boom. And that is going to show me where I need to start, and it's going to perfectly place the plaid crossovers in the right spot. Honestly, super easy. It looks complex. The first time I was looking at this, I was like, ooh, I don't know if I can do this. It's going to be a lot to figure out. No, it was easy as pie. Okay, so I'm going to grab this. We're going to go with red. This is Fort York red, a really bold, fun color. Now the testers are awesome because they're about $5 each, and you can do so many projects. I've actually seen people paint entire side tables with one of these testers.
Yeah, that's not the idea. It's supposed to just test your color for your larger projects.
It's a wonderful thing because it goes so far, you can actually accomplish so much.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna swirl, swirl, swirl. Remember, you can dab, you can swirl. Totally up to you how you like to apply your stencil. Now this color is a little bit more of a fluorescent red color. It's quite vibrant. So typically with colors like this, you need 2 coats. I don't like to stencil usually if I know I'm going to need 2 coats. However, I think we can make this work in one.
It's a very vibrant, pure red. That is for sure.
Can you hear the rain? I hope you can still hear me. There has been some wicked weather happening recently.
Can't make up its mind.
Hopefully it sounds okay. Anyone else watching from around the globe? Where are you watching from? And if you like this, or if you know anyone that would like this type of pattern, hit share. Share this video with your friends. And we have a giveaway question too. And the question is, what color would you paint yours? So what color would you do your base coat? What would you use for your plaid or your buffalo check? All right, I'm gonna lift this off. And there we go, really super cute. And I'm gonna just move it over.
There is a little tip here from Christy Olson. She uses tape to put where her registration marks would be.
Yeah.
And then she just lifts the tape up instead of having to get out your initial color and repainting.
That's smart, I like that.
Good tip.
Yeah, really, really smart idea. I think Donna did that as well in her video. So I've just moved it over, and now I'm gonna continue filling in. You don't want to paint your registration marks though.
Just the first time.
Yeah.
I hope everybody can hear okay. It's really starting to come down. Do you want to move the table that way? There's some rain coming.
All right. Portable set. Portable moving set.
Yeah.
All right, and we'll move this over one more. Look, just that easy. It's coming together real nice.
Wow.
You may not be able to tell on camera, but I'm getting wet here. Okay, do not paint in the rain.
Oh my goodness, it's really windy out there. Should we give these people a local shot of the weather as well?
Yeah, it's coming
It's
down.
like really, really coming down.
It's okay.
Oi.
So I recommend do not paint outdoors. You don't want your job to get wet. And there we go. How easy is that?
Could we also put a sample on here before the rain gets too bad?
Yeah, now I didn't make my registration marks on here, so I'm going to have to just kind of go with my gut feeling on this one. This one's going to be tough, though.
Wow, it's really... This is highly unusual, people. It's basically raining on the set.
Okay. It's a really, really light stencil I did here. Just to give you an idea. We got the tree falling on us.
You can definitely.
But how cute is that? You know, and you can put the flag right over top of it.
You can do multicolors, no problem. I think we should probably wrap this up in light of the rainstorm that's coming in.
All right. Okay. So I hope that you've been able to enjoy that. And these stencils are really awesome. So it's the buffalo check and plaid check. And do we have a winner of?
Do we have a winner?
What color you would choose?
Here, New York at all. Jordan, do we have a winner?
All right.
All right. The winner is Teresa Wheeler. And we will get in touch with you and get your prize sent off. Thank you so much for joining us. Jen, you want to do the last sign off?
All right, there we go. So be sure to hit subscribe and watch more of these fabulous DIYs. We hope that you like the buffalo check and the plaid stencil.
Woo! I think it turned out brilliantly.
All
Love
right.
it. All right.
Bye.